Having been told that, I had no choice but to eat it. I wasn't exactly Madame Jean's trusted friend. I was just the newspaper writer she had chosen. It wasn't as though I'd get a stomachache from from a little bit of raw meat. Aren't you gonna try any soy sauce? Soy? Oh, this black fluid is that soy sauce stuff. Wasn't that condiment used specifically for eating sashimi? I've heard the Japanese consumed a large quantity of it before the war. However, it's gone out of fashion and its public image is far from good now. If I recall, it had an extremely high salt count. It could even cause blindness or lower body paralysis. I feel like that part's not true. It is really salty, though. It wasn't just unhealthy, it was a mysterious poison. I'd always assumed it was some sort of edible poison, used to kill all the germs sticking to raw fish. Isn't that how young people think of it these days? Right on the mark again, I hung my head apologetically. Well, putting poison into food products is something that happens every day. Reused cooking oil, unsanitary filth, excessive pesticides, and growth stimulants. Modern Japanese people may be maintaining a well-balanced diet, but... You see, in the past, the Japanese called soy sauce drops of their soul, and could not do without it. How sad is it that it has become so disliked in a mere half-century? Drops of the Japanese soul? That's right! Such a shame that someone like you with Japanese blood in their veins has never tasted soy sauce. There are various reasons for why soy sauce grew to be so disliked. The sudden rise in price, which kept it out of the hands of the common man, had a lot to do with it. But the soy sauce syndrome that began spreading after the war was also a large factor. The soy sauce syndrome? That's right, an urban legend. Putting soy sauce into your mouth could cause it to supposedly strike you blind or make your body become paralyzed. Of course, real soy sauce never did things like that. However, many chemicals harmful to the human body were used in fake soy sauce. That started making the rounds after the war. Oh, great. It's had a bad reputation spread, and that reputation eventually infected real soy sauce too. Well, yeah, because, you know, what's the difference between fake and real? Looks the same. Presumably tastes the same. At least you wouldn't know until you tasted it. So part of the Japanese culture so big that they called it the drops of their soul. Had gone extinct. I didn't really get it, but it must have been extremely saddening to Madame Jean. Soy sauce was one of the things Madame Rose loved and wanted to see the Japanese people regain. Ah yes. Why won't I tell you about the 1948 now? This was 1 year after the formation of the Primavera family. It was time when Madame Rose was running about, working to build an ideal society for her countrymen. Come to think of it, in one of your stories about Madame Rose, she was concerned about the circulation of soy sauce, wasn't she? That's right! You've got a good memory! Madame Rose began trying to alter the wages of her countrymen who worked as laborers. Her next priority was to improve the food culture, the sort of Japanese culture most familiar to the common man. She did that with soy sauce. Do you mind if I turn on my voice recorder? Huh, let's hold off on that until we finish eating. Diving into the main subject during a meal is a part of Japanese culture which ought to be changed. Then after the meal, Madame Jean began to speak. 1 year later in City 23 in the year 1948. The tale of the days of Madame Rose and guns. I swear to God, I'm gonna say it's fucking Guns N' Roses at some point. Just because. Hello? Panting. A lone girl dashed through a grimy alleyway. Her feet were bare and she was wearing nothing but worn-out underclothes. She ran as fast as she could in fear of something behind her. Did you see her over there? David, oh, bitch, look what we got for trying to be just a little bit gentle with her. No good, this alley is no good. I've got to go back and choose another alley. But if I do, I'll bump into the people chasing me. There she is, I found the little brat. Yeah. The girl stumbled, knocked over a trash can, and fell into a pile of its contents. However, she immediately started crawling across the ground, scraping the junk off her as she dashed. She ran like a frightened rabbit, completely unconcerned about appearances. She ran and ran. She raced through the dark, dirty alleyway. It was bright at the other end. If she made it there, she might be able to get away. Or at least she had that sort of feeling. So she ran towards the light. Then she picked up speed and jumped into that light. Her whole body turned pure white as she was lit up by a pair of headlights. It's just other guys. Why are they chasing her? Oh, Butler. In this clambering government district of a city, there were surprisingly no neon lights to brighten up the night. There's Tokyo City 1, the headquarters of the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, otherwise known as the GHQ. A single car stopped in front of the government office building, and Butler got out. Thanks for the lift, Rose. Whoa. Hello, Rose. No, the pleasure's mine. Thank you for your company tonight, Captain. It was normally illegal to park here, but the MPs didn't make a scene. Looking at the car, those guards, and Rose's dignified presence itself seemed like an almost natural privilege for them. It was fun. Came to see you after so long. Still, dang, you really have gotten a lot more dignified looking. The name Madame Rose doesn't seem out of place anymore. Didn't you want me to become like this? Well, that's a bit more complicated. I did like the old and pure and innocent you. Somehow exciting to see a rose budding in darkness as it gradually blends in with the black. Thank you. I'll take that as a wonderful compliment from me as I am now. And of course, I want to continue to treasure the beauty and purity of a rose. And there's something all roses need to have. Of course, thorns to match their beauty. I have no intention of losing those. Wonderful! You give me the shivers. I could fall for you more and more. Butler kissed Rose on the cheek and disappeared into the crowd of people entering and leaving the building. He was normally assigned to the occupying forces in City 23, so he had no connection with the GHQ. However, we had personal connections with several high-ranking officers who did work at the GHQ. In short, his ambition probably couldn't be contained by City 23 alone. However, he wouldn't be as useful as a backer if he were any other way. Even the old showdown against Caleb wouldn't have been possible without the arrangements he had made with the GHQ. The stronger his connections were, the more it benefited Primavera. Of course, that was true only as long as Primavera benefited him. The relationship between Butler and Primavera had grown even tighter than before. As she gazed lazily at the night lights through the car window, Rose suddenly noticed her face reflected in the window. Wayne, do you think I've changed a bit? You give off a dignified presence, fitting for one who stands at the top of City 23. Whoa, holy fuck. Wayne answered from where he sat in a suit in the passenger seat. Wayne had himself developed quite an impressive presence, ever since the day when we announced the formation of the Primavera family. All of us had been reborn. Cyrus is going to be like a literal fucking tank. Even the one short-tempered Wayne is wearing a suit. Though he was shy about it at first, I think he wears it pretty well now. It's strange, but people's hearts change when they change their outfits. Sure. I still have to change a lot more. I know. So do I. So do we. Unless we change even more, you'll leave us all behind. I've got to learn a lot too, or I won't be qualified to lead the way for everyone. What? Look out! In the dim road leading to City 23, a person suddenly appeared in the headlights. Some random girl that's now going to be our prostitute. Get in the car. The white shadow had suddenly shot out from an alley. Someone let a stifled scream at the moment. The same moment a dull impact shook the car. And we fucking killed her. The driver quickly stepped on the brakes and finally came to a stop, leaving tire marks on the road behind them. What happened? Did we hit someone? Is she okay? See you, Rose. I'll go have a look. The car in front of them, with the guards, noticed the accident, came screeching to a stop. The guards all came running. Rose stayed inside the car as ordered, looking out the back window worried. Under the dim road lights, she could see a single girl laying on the ground. She didn't know why a girl had come run out into the road all of a sudden, but there was no doubt that they had hit her. I wonder where she got hit. I hope she's okay. I'd worry how fast we hit her. Wayne! This woman suddenly jumped out, and we hit her. Hey there, miss. You okay? They shook her, but she only seemed to moan slightly. Yeah, she's not dead. However, they couldn't be sure she was okay unless they took her to a doctor. It would do any good to have a rumor going around that Madame Rose had hit and run a girl. Of course, Rose would never even suggest leaving her behind. Instead of calling an ambulance, it'll probably be faster if we take her to the hospital. Understood. Hey, grab her feet. The guards tried to lift the girl up. Wayne took another look at her and frowned dubiously. She was wearing worn-out underclothing. On top of that, her feet were bare. Sometimes starving girls would dress up as pitiable as possible to try and earn sympathy. The guards seemed to be thinking this, but Wayne's keen nose told him something completely different. At that moment, several men appeared from the darkness she had left from. Whoa, sorry to bother you guys. That little brat is with us. Our apologies if she bothered you. Would you mind handing her over to us? Nah, fuck off, dude. Don't get any closer. What? Don't even try and approach me casually when I'm dressed up all nice, scum. What's with this kid? You got a problem with us? The man took out knives out of their pockets and held them up to be seen. 18 guards pull out their guns and pointed at him. You want to get a hole in his pretty clothes, would you? You wouldn't want to. Put the brat down and scram. This is why I can't stand other cities. Stop trying to look cool and start... Hey, wait a second. As one man got caught up in the moment and aimed his knife at Wayne's forehead, his buddy grabbed his shoulder and stopped him. Because the guards had surrounded them and were pointing cold gun barrels at them. Put the knife down, kid. I'm sorry, just got caught up in the moment. Looks like you picked the wrong fight. Wayne, what should we do with him? Please spare me. I've just been without telling the guys at work. Making some pocket change by selling the bodies of young little girls. No, we were just giving food and shelter to a brat without a home and, Oh, my apologies. I must have misunderstood. In that case, we'll take over that job for you. Any problems with that? No, we couldn't ask you to. Do we shoot him? It'll be too loud here. Let's drop him somewhere else. Somebody help! The men raced each other as they ran away down the back alley. Wayne gave the signal for the guards to put down their guns and smiled. How terrible. Forcing her to sell her body like that. Well, we'll look for a nearby hospital. Please go back first, Rose. Instead of searching, I think it'll be faster to carry her to the General Hospital in City 23. I am Madame Rose, the leader of Ladies of the Evening. I cannot abandon a girl who was forced to sell her body without wishing it. Figured you'd say that. Okay, carry her into that car. It's okay. We can use this car. It's bigger for one thing. And I think it's better for a girl to look after another girl. Surely she hadn't been running around outside in her underwear of her own free will. Usually not. Rose didn't like the thought of forcing her to be under the gaze of men while dressed like that. The girl was carried into the back seat where Rose was sitting. Rose rested the girl's head on her lap and wiped the dirt from her face with a handkerchief. Poor thing, but you'll be safe now. The girl didn't answer. Either she had fallen unconscious or the strings of tension had snapped, sending her off into sleep. The whole time until they reached the hospital, Rose worried about her condition. As long as she's breathing, she can probably be saved. Depending on how many internal injuries she has. Utopia, 1948. Huh. I realized I was laying dazed on the bed with white sheets. It didn't feel quite the same as sleeping and then waking up. I had no idea how long I had been like that. It was as though I'd only realized that fact just now. Where am I? Timidly, I looked around. I was in a bed surrounded by sliding curtains. When I anxiously opened the curtain, I saw rows of several more beds. I saw IVs, wheelchairs, nurses dressed in white. Can I see those? The answer to my question was pretty darn obvious. This is a hospital. So this whole time I've been playing Sleeping Beauty on this hospital bed. But annoyingly, I didn't know what hospital this was. No more importantly, I didn't know how long I had been here or why I was staying here. Ugh. I felt the thin blood vessels in my head get clogged with a chunk of memory, giving me a headache. Then one thing became immediately clear. Who am I? I was unable to remember something that obvious. Ooh, this could be John. Hold on. How can I not remember? How about just my name? Or if not, how about where this is and how long I've been here? More importantly, do I have a wallet capable of affording a bed in such a magnificent hospital? Headache. As soon as I tried to think, it felt as though the blood vessels in my head really would explode. But it's even more unpleasant not to know anything. Crazy. No matter how much my head hurts, I've got to at least remember something. When a doctor came by on his rounds and told me that I might be suffering temporary memory loss, I was finally able to sort out my situation. I spent half a day moaning and searching for fragments of memory, but nothing came back to me. Even though I was just minding my own business, suffering from extreme brain constipation, a bunch of noisy people came into the room. Hello? See, told you it was this way. After all, that going up and downstairs, I'm starving after all that going up downstairs. Shut up, be quiet, you're slowing me down. Like hell, you're slowing us down more than anyone, Oliver. If you just asked at the front desk, we wouldn't even have to worry about being lost. Sheesh. We're proud wolves, aren't we? Do wolves ask for directions? I doubt they'd let a wolf into the hospital in the first place. Every bit of that half hour going up and downstairs, all of that thanks to Oliver's weird pride. Sheesh. I'm so hungry I might die. Take responsibility and buy me some Nikuman on the way home. Shut up, be quiet. Buy it with your own money. We're proud wolves. Wolves don't buy stuff and eat it right away. Hey, I'm trying to remember my own name here. Why are they so noisy? Then of all things, the three of them came to the bed next to mine. We're looking for the girl in this room. This must be her. The girl? They were looking at an old lady lying peacefully on her bed. She must have fallen asleep, since she didn't react to their noise in any way. You sure they didn't mean Granny? Silence, fool. This is an expression that Wayne uses. He says girl when he means old lady. That's Wayne for you. He's so cool. No, I don't think so. But she's sleeping, isn't she? Should we wake her up? When uncouth child, at times like this, the manners of the noble wolf tell us to wait until she wakes up. That's got nothing to do with wolves. Wait, meaning how long? My stomach's gonna be my stomach and back are gonna be squished together until I die. At any rate, we shall wait here until she wakes up. If you have any objections, feel free to leave. I, at least, will follow Wayne's order until the very end. The tall young man named Oliver grabbed a nearby chair, plopped it down, and took out a book and started to read. Seeing this, the short boy, who kept complaining about being hungry, sat down on the floor, his stomach rumbling. The girl scolded him for sitting on the floor. The young man yelled at them to shut up and be quiet. Shut up! The boy's stomach kept rumbling. How can they be so unbelievably noisy? Then, for just an instant, my eyes met the girl's eye through a gap in the curtain. Huh. Hey, Oliver. Shut up! Be quiet! I'm reading! It's the story of a fool who got locked up for 19 years just for stealing a loaf of bread. If I could get 19 years of food in the clink, I'd like to go there too. Are you talking about Les Miserables? The cover of his book read Crime and Punishment. Shut up. Be quiet. I was only testing you. More importantly, look. The girl pointed at me. The young man's gaze crossed mine too. Isn't this the girl Wayne was talking about? Ah, she's right. It's a real girl. Hey, don't point. It's rude. I'll go ask if she's really the girl Wayne was talking about. Go ask the nurse. You can't trust Oliver. Sheesh. I'm not wrong. They didn't seem to put that much faith in their leader, Oliver. The boy grabbed a nurse in the hall, pointed this way, and talked with her a bit. Then, for better or worse, it was revealed that the three noisy people were here to see me. I'm Charles. Nice to meet you. Hey, this is a hospital. Keep your voice down. Sorry about that. I'm Nina. I'm really sorry about those dolts being so noisy. She spoke Japanese in a very noticeable dialect. I was more or less able to make out what she said, but if I ever were to let my guard down, I'd lose track of what she was saying. Hello. Pleasure to meet you. They were so noisy that I still hadn't remembered my name when it came time to introduce myself. But still, by now, it was all so noisy and stupid that I couldn't really feel grave about anything. I'm Oliver. We come here to get you, in accordance with Wayne's orders. We've also heard that you lost your memory and have no place to live. I'd realized that my memory was gone, but I also have no home. The shocking truth was almost as shocking as the casual way I'd been told it. However, the name Wayne seemed vaguely familiar to me. That and Rose? That's right, he got hit by Madame Rose's car. If you're trying to earn some cash by faking car accidents, you probably want to get a new job because you really suck at it. That's a high-level job, since you need to get the angle just right. It's way easier to steal some corrupt merchant's wallet instead. Enough of your weird ideas. I'm sorry, these men are just incapable of politeness. No, that's... that was all I could say. Later on, a doctor came and said that there was nothing wrong with me except my missing memories. Apparently, almost a week had passed since I had been brought in here. Going by what they said, this Wayne person was apparently the one who sent them to get me. And the boss of all these people was apparently named Madame Rose. Apparently, this lady thinks this lady thinks she had hit me with a car and was worrying about it this whole time with her car. Please. It's a machine? If she hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to relax on these white sheets in such a good hospital until today. Anyway, we can't have you dressed like that forever. Wayne gave us some clothes and told us to pick you up some. What? That wasn't reward money? And I thought we'd eat a whole pile of Nikuman. Shut up, be quiet. Did you really think you'd spare a $1,000 bill just for you to eat Nikuman? Nikuman? Whatever. They took me outside and told me to choose clothes at a wonderful boutique. Or more accurately, I was treated like a doll. When they handed the big dollar bill to the American shopkeeper who spoke in fractured Japanese, she picked a matching outfit for me all on her own. These clothes are really nice. The money that they had handed over to buy the clothes apparently didn't belong to them, but had been given to them by their bosses. or boss. At that point, I realized that they weren't just abandoned three noisy people, but they were backed by someone of good financial status. Just who are these people? Who's Wayne? Who's Madame Rose? I mean, seriously, what's a Primavera? And first of all, won't someone tell me my name? Hey, who am I? I'm totally just lost now. I've gotten past a mere headache, and now my head's throbbing and dizzy. Where are we? This is Primavera, the club we've just been talking about. It's Madame Rose's club. Every time I look, I still can't believe how huge it is. I tensed up reflexively. I was glad to be given a beautiful clothes to wear, but now they've brought me to what's clearly a club for ladies of the evening. Don't tell me these people are planning to sell me away. Don't get the wrong idea. We wouldn't do that, only if you want to. It's the other way around. When you are about to be sold off to someone, the madam's the one who saved you. This way, follow me. The front entrance was apparently for customers only. We went through the back entrance. There we saw a truck being unloaded and a bunch of people chatting about who appeared to be businessmen and workers at the club. What are you brats doing here? Is it a playground? They always treat us like brats. Bring Wayne here. Tell him we've brought the girl. Before long, the young man who the kids adored and called Wayne appeared. Well done. And then change from the clothes money? In this bag. Very nice outfit. Did you pick it out, Nina? I only helped a bit. The person at the store has a great eye. Okay then. Well done. Get something to eat with this and go home. Woohoo! Can I buy some Nikoman? Wayne, you rock! And because you accepted, that's why you get treated like a brat. Why would a brat care if a brat calls him a brat? You're a brat too, aren't you? I'm not a brat, only you. You both are. Stop trying to look cool and get out of here. So long, miss. See you later. The three of them were noisy until the very end. As I stood there, left alone, Wayne signaled for me to follow him. I don't really get what's going on, but I've got to at least thank the person who rescued me. For now, I'll have to trust that those three aren't agents for a slaver. I was apparently in the backyard of this Club Primavera place. It was a nighttime establishment, so it probably wasn't open for business yet. There was no one to be seen except by the service entrance.